Hey again and welcome to a new video. So today I want to try out the new Barik or the buff Barik. So he already got buffed in the previous patch, so you got a little bit of HP increase, and now this patch you got a little bit of damage increase to tinkerin. So before you did 480 and now you do 510 each shot you hit, so to say. And I feel like the buff was kinda needed, cause before, if you haven't played or if you didn't play tinkerin, just played Architectonics or 45, you did 500 damage each shot you hit directly on the body. So if you hit all your pellets on the other tank or whoever, like if you hit all your pellets, you already did 500 damage, and you did even more, like 750, I think, when you hit a headshot. So you definitely did more damage, even if you hit only body shots, than with tinkerin. And you already also have a little bit of damage fall off on tinkerin, so it wasn't really worth it to run tinkerin just to have a little bit more of range, cause you will have damage fall off anyway, and you also do less damage if you're up close. So there's no real reason to go tinkerin. So that's why I feel like the buff was kind of needed, because now you have another option to pick, because now you do more damage. If you Because with tinkerin you only can do body shots, or you can't do headshots with tinkerin, but now you do 510 instead of 500, so it's a little bit more damage and you do more damage over range. So let's see how this feels. Maybe it's worth it now running. So let's see. And yeah, this is kind of unlucky. Just dash into the Fury Beam. So what I actually recognize is that they added a little timer, so to say, on the revealed thingy, like by Cassie ult or something. Now you actually see a little timer or something. Before you just saw you were revealed, but now you have a little timer, so you know how long the ult will last. It's kind of good, I think. I like it. So I basically don't want to play on point, cause I have more range, and we have Yago, so she could play on the point. And for tinkerin, you also, because Barik is, even before the buffs, he's really self-sustaining, really tanky, because of his card. So in general, he isn't that tanky. Okay, that's unlucky that he grabbed me. So now he is, because of the HP buffs, but before he wasn't. He only was tanky because of his self-sustain. But now he's actually tanky and has his self-sustain. So you can play as an off-tank. You can go in aggressively. You can pressure the backline, pressure the DPS, the healer. So you kind of can play him as an off-tank because of his damage, like tinkerin, or his damage in general is kind of high. But with tinkerin, if you hit your shot directly, you do a lot of damage. With the other legendaries, you need to hit all your pellets or something to do that much damage. But anyway, it's not that hard. But with tinkerin, I feel like it's just easier to now it's just easier to do a lot of damage. So before it was kind of weak, but now with the buff, I think it already feels kind of great, kind of good. So you can play as an off tank. Cheating here to save my Fury, so or to make it possible for us to peak. So for an off tank in general, you don't have to go on the point unless your main tank died or your main tank is pretty low and needs to get off the objective. So now my Yago is dead, so that's why I'm moving onto the payload, onto the objective, so to say. So again, we just want to try to yeah, don't go on the objective immediately, because we have Yago, so she could go on the objective, and we can kinda see. We'll see where we want to go. Okay, so Fury ult. Okay, that's unlucky. In the Mave ult we can't really do something. So see, I can just pressure the backline pretty easily. So now we got a lot of pigs, or they retreated, so yeah, we kinda could play a little bit more aggressive. Because they need to get back, and then we could yeah, I don't know, could just play aggressive and kinda wait for them. Just putting out some pressure. Okay, we locked the Carnal, that's good. So I also want to try out Wrecker on Barik, because like I don't know, before all the nerfs and changes to Wrecker and Cord and stuff, where Barik used to do 560 tinkerin and Wrecker scaling was high and stuff, I often bought Wrecker on Barik to pressure Khan, and it's pretty good, feels pretty good, because it was similar to, so not the same, but similar to Cassie. Cassie does 680, you did 650, and Cassie's is also, or were also, Cassie was also a good Wrecker pick. So feels good to pressure Khan, because Khan is basically a pretty good tank at pressuring, and he's really tanky as well, because he has a lot of HP and he can toggle his shield whenever. So just to I don't know, to pressure him more, I feel like Regas on Barik, on tinkerin Barik is a good pick to pressure Khan more, or to make it harder for Khan. Because if you destroy his shield, he's, yeah, it's easier for you obviously to kill him. I just run out of the Vero, or just, yeah, that's unlucky. I wanted to shield my Yago, but she died first. So if I would have had my shield up, I would have shielded her. So yeah, no. Staying in beam, even though we have full HP. Just in case we get damage or something, we get healed up immediately. So we know someone's behind because of my turret. You should always pay attention to your turrets. Okay, so that's unlucky. My Fury died. Always pay attention to your turrets too. So your turrets do a little sound when they hit someone. So pay attention to your sounds to know. Sometimes you can put your turrets in positions spots where the enemy is about to go. So you either can dismount them, or just, yeah, I don't know, put them down, put your turrets down, and if there's someone, if someone's going there, you will hear them and know they're coming. Okay, we have Fury ult, but they Fury ulted as well, and yeah, I just get melted. Even though I was in my Furious beam, I just get melted because of the Fury ult. So Fury ult is so strong, actually can't counter it. So yeah, okay, you could buy Haven or something, but Fury ult is basically just so strong. You do so much damage. So we know Maeve is on top. I could push up to help on Joxes, but she's dead anyway. So I just want to set up on the high ground. Now just dropping to the point to cheat for my Yago. And cause I knew I have my ult, so Barik ult is pretty strong. Just you're also shielding here for just shielding for my Furia, so she doesn't die against the Maeve. So also you also want to try to cheat your healer or other teammates. So even though you're full HP, or I don't know, just cheat your teammates, cheat your healer if your healer gets pushed or something, so you can protect them, and always pay attention to what's happening behind. So listen to who's walking behind, or just listen to two calls your healer do or something. Okay, I think he's AFK or something. One shoot him. Yeah, just pay attention to what's happening, going on, if you could help your healer. Because your healer, yeah, most of the time needs help against flanks. So Fury is a good healer to protect yourself or Dumber or something, but usually you always want to try to help your healer, make it harder for the enemy flank to kill them. So they probably won't flank again, or just make their life harder, make it harder for them to flank them. So see how much damage I do against the Khan shield now. I mean, it's only Wrecker 1, and I think I wasn't the only one shooting against his shield, but anyway, I feel like tinkerin, is a good pick against, or just Wrecker and tinkerin is a good pick against the Khan shield. So just stay in the beams. My Fury is pretty good at hitting their beams. So I just bought Wrecker 2 and Resilience, just to counter Maeve ult, Khan ult, Fury beam. That's why I bought Resilience and Wrecker 2, to see how good it feels if I increase my Wrecker against the Khan shield, obviously. So usually tanks aren't Wrecker option, I'd say, but Barik, because he does so much damage, or he did. Well, I have to see how it is now with 510, but with 560 he did a lot of DPS. But even now, I think Wrecker could be an option on Barik, with the tinkerin buff and the Wrecker buff. So last point fight. Again, I just want to try. Okay. Now just shielding and waiting out the Maeve ult. But actually lucky that I got the pick on Furia, cause she was in range of my vision, so to say, of my side. Cause Maeve ult, what a great beam. Maeve ult is not completely darkness, so to say. You have a little circle around you where you still can see. So we have almost 60%. I can go in aggressive, ult aggressive. I'm basically just ulting them because they were in my turret range, and make it harder for them to walk in because of my barrack dome. Because you don't want to walk into a barrack dome because it does a lot of damage. So I think most Grishies just die in a barrack dome if they want to run into it and don't get healed. Yeah, I think just finishing up the kills. So basically I think the barrack buffs feel nice. So I have to play it more often to say if it's too strong, maybe because you also got HP buffed, but I think it's a great buff, it was needed. So maybe, yeah, I think it's fine, maybe a little bit more. We have to see how it works later. So thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed it. Have a nice day, and always remember, you guys are awesome.